Hi, it's Last Minute Mom. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button to see more of this kind of content. Make sure that you hit the like button too. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen that I bought a new Cricut Explorer 3. In my post, I promised to do an unboxing video. So today, we're going to crack that puppy open and make our first project. Now, I'll tell you up front, I did not have a good experience with this. As you'll see, I had problems with the machine and then the setup. Not a great experience. I'm hoping that from here on out things will go better, but instead of telling you, let me show you. Okay, so here we go. Again, sorry for being out of focus. I have a hard time getting this camera to focus for me properly. So I have an original Cricut that I bought with two of my girlfriends a bunch of years ago. So it's the kind that has the cartridges that you use with it. And at this point, the software that it uses to make custom designs has been deprecated or discontinued. So I couldn't make anything custom. So I really wanted to be able to do some cooler designs. So I bit the bullet and I went to Michael's and I bought Cricut Explorer 3. I didn't buy the Maker 3 because I looked at the differences, and really for the difference of 150 bucks, it really wasn't worth it for me for what I'm planning on using. Now I might change my mind down the road, who knows. I had planned to do a t-shirt design that someone had asked for for my first project with the Cricut. So basically it was to do a print then cut of an iron-on transfer. Um, After I get into starting with this Cricut, that went out the window. I was done. So I opened it up and I did lose some of my footage, so you're kind of seeing things kind of ass backwards here. So I got my Cricut and I took it out and I unboxed it and everything and I tried to set it up. So I connected my Cricut up to my laptop and did the firmware update and started to do the tutorial. Again, this is where I lost some footage. I was recording my screen, but my laptop couldn't handle recording the screen and running the Cricut at the same time. So it actually, my laptop crashed at one point. So I was going along and following the tutorial in design space, and where it asks you to pick for between 5 or 6 different designs. I think I had chosen, I think it was some kind of a flower. So then you load it into Canvas and you hit the Make It button. And then I went to load the paper into the machine and the power button was flashing red. So I went on to the Cricut help pages and looked to see what it said, and it said at that point, if it's at that point that it starts flashing red, then you really need to call customer support. Well, this was 9 o'clock Atlantic time, and all their customer support was gone for the day. So I just had access to this automated bot that you type in a few keywords and it would bring back suggestions. Well, that was an exercise in futility, and it was so frustrating. But one of the things it allowed you to do was to put in your contact information so that the support folks could call you the next day about your problem. So that's what I did. In the meantime, I went on Reddit and YouTube and I looked through it and I saw some videos of people taking apart their Cricuts to try to fix the problem. It looks like, for the most part, it ends up being a mechanical problem or an electrical problem where there's a wire not working and the rollers aren't working properly. So it was basically a lemon. So the next day, I waited for support to call me, and I waited, and I waited, and I waited some more, and then I said, enough of this, and I went and I got the number, and I called my, well, the first time it said, the average wait time is 10 minutes. So, okay, I sat there, and I sat there, and it was a full 10 minutes at least, and somebody answered, and as soon as they answered, they hung up on me. So that was not great. So I called back again. Wait time this time is 10 minutes, or 15 minutes, I should say. Yeah, that was lovely. But to be fair, I think I was only on hold for a couple minutes. This nice gentleman named Jericho answered the phone, and he was great. We walked through all the troubleshooting steps and everything, and And he told me to gather all certain information, and he basically told me that the machine was toast and that Cricut would replace it. So I had to take some photos and take a video and send it back to his email, the email that he was going to send me, and that it would take 10 to 14 days and Cricut would replace it. Well, I didn't want to wait 10 to 14 days. I wanted to play with my machine now because I had waited a whole week to have time when my daughter wasn't around so that I could open it up without her getting in my way. So asked him, can I just take it back to the store? He's like, well, you can try. He said, this is all the stuff you'll need to do anyway. So I boxed her all back up, and then later that day, I guess it was the same day, I trucked her all into Michael's, and when I got there, they're like, I don't know if you can do that. I'm like, oh yes, yes I can, because when I bought this machine, I was promised that I had 2 months to change my mind because I wasn't sure at that point if I wanted the Maker or the Explorer. So before I purchased, I wanted to make sure that I had the option to change machines if I wanted to. So after some hemming and hawing and whatever, they did it for like they were very accommodating. But she just had to ask the manager, and then the manager's like, oh yeah, we do that. So I got it home. I got the new one home, opened it all back up again, and got her all ready to go. Um, and But this time when I plugged it in and went to the setup page, it didn't come up with the tutorial. So I was like, what's going on here? So I basically had to find a similar way to simulate the tutorial. So I kind of sort of remembered what the tutorial had said to do. And to be fair, I watched a bunch of YouTube videos before I went out and made my purchase, so I kind of had an idea what I was going to be doing with this thing and how to use it. That's one thing I always, always, always do before I buy something. It may look like to some people that know me that I'm um, impulsive and I just go out and do things, but I research a lot before I make a decision. So when I've made my decision, it looks like it's quick, but it's because I've got all the background information to back up what my decision is. So so no tutorial. So I went in and I found a sunflower image, and what they had given you to Cricut gave you some materials with the machine to run through the tutorial and everything. So it was removable vinyl that they gave us. So I'm like, well, I'll do that. I'll do a sunflower and put it on my wall in my office because my office is yellow walls, so they'll be kind of cute. Oh well, yeah. First of all, I decided I was going to try to maximize the number of sunflowers I got on this because I didn't want to waste the product. So I put two, and then I loaded it all up, and then it spit it back out. Cricut told me it was too big. So okay, I loaded it. I had reduced it down. I took the second sunflower out and made three smaller ones instead. I got the vinyl loaded into the machine, and this time it had the right amount of right size and everything. So so it started cutting away, and I was like, "Holy God, what is taking so long?" So I started looking at it, and I couldn't believe the intricate cuts. I'm like, "Why didn't I notice this?" I'm like, "This is bananas." So after it got all done, it took a while because it took way longer to to cut than I thought. I got it out and I started weeding it. I'm like, good God, I am doing the big one and that is it. This is too many little details for my first piece with this. So yeah, that's why there's no t-shirt, because once I got this done, there's the flower on the wall. That was it. No more. I was it. Game over. I was done. Maybe the t-shirt will be in the next video. Who knows? Because I still have to make the t-shirt. So as you can see, my luck wasn't very good with this. Um, I'm hopeful that my future projects will go much smoother, but this was not a good first experience. If I had been brand new to Cricut, this probably would have turned me off of the entire experience. But I do have one of the original Cricuts, the kind that you put the cartridges in. So I will try to make this work for me. I've started making and selling t-shirts and some other things like onesies and bibs and things like that. So I plan to fully put this Cricut through its paces, and I'm planning on showing you guys some of that. If you want to see some of that content, make sure that you've subscribed to the channel and hit the like button. And if you really want to make sure you don't miss anything, hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching. Talk to you next time, guys.